Namaste. Welcome to Agriculture Affairs in Nepal special with me, Nirmala Basnet. Dear viewers, today the number of people infected with COVID-19 has reached almost 3 million. The number of deaths is over 202,000 so far. In Nepal, the number of people infected has reached 49 now. 12 people have been cured. This means the corona is still spreading in Nepal and around the world. We all realize that this is a very important time in the history of mankind. Almost the whole world is shut down. All the activities of man has been halted. The worst hit country so far is the USA. The agriculture sector is very badly hit due to lack of seeds, lack of sales of agriculture produce, lack of fertilizer, and lack of pesticides. In one hand, people do not have access to food, and in the other hand, the food is being wasted in the fields. The government of Nepal has allowed the farmers to keep working in the fields by keeping social distance. Today, we will talk to another agriculture expert who worked for the Nepali government. His name is Dr. Tek Bahadur Gurung. He worked as Executive Director of Nepal Agriculture Research Council. Let us now talk to our guest. Hello, namaste, sir. Respected sir.
Hey, Ji, yes.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very fine, but sometimes I'm amazed and thinking over the other population in the countryside.
Yeah.
This kind of closing of the whole.
Yeah, shutting down. Yes, it's kind of
Yeah.
It's very difficult time.
It's a very difficult time.
Yes. You're safe at home, though.
Yeah, I'm safe, but still, having problem to market access.
Yes.
And this all the COVID-19 has created quite huge problem.
Yes.
Actually, and sometimes we are afraid that probably the COVID-19 is coming closer to us. Every moment, maybe it is closing, coming very close to us, something like that,
Especially at your age, sir. It's very, very difficult. I'm sure it's very, very difficult.
Really, it is difficult, yes.
Yes. So how are you fighting COVID-19 apart from staying home?
Well, this is really a difficult time to stay at home.
Yes.
Without doing too much activities, without doing social activities, without doing any, adding more contribution to the society.
Yes.
Remaining at home is really difficult.
It's very difficult, yes. So what are you trying to do? You are doing something, I'm sure.
Well, just to do something more productive, writing articles, maybe reading something, watching YouTube, and talking like you is the general activity so far.
Oh, that's very good. Respected Dr. Tek Bahadur Gurung, sir, as retired agriculture scientist, how do you think the corona is affecting the agriculture sector?
Well, this corona is really a devastating situation. It is bringing up to the agriculture sector in the country.
Yeah.
As you said very clearly, actually, there are people dying by hunger in one side.
Yeah.
And other hand, the farmers who are the producer, they are throwing the things in terms of the market. So this gap is really killing all of us.
Yes, it's very, very sad.
Yeah. So we require to work on this, how to minimize this distance in between the producer and the consumer.
Yes.
Consumer, on the other hand, they are not obtaining the proper things.
Yes.
They might be paying sometimes higher prices.
Yes.
And on the other hand, and that.
Yes.
In that situation, actually, the farmers, they are going to, a kind of harassment.
Yeah.
They will be demotivating. So they might change the route. So that is one of the most dangerous situations so far. We can calculate that out.
Yeah. How do you think should the agriculture sector handle this situation? You know that the farm products are not getting market and the people are not getting to eat. So how should we handle this situation?
Well, at present, I think the someone who are directly concerned with this, I think should really focus the things in between. As I said, as you
Yeah.
also realized that to establish a linkage in between the, in between the producer and the consumer,
Yeah.
somewhere the market linkage has been lost
Yes.
because of these all blockage kind of things.
Yeah.
So this has to be resolved first of all.
Yes.
Then probably in second hand, since everyone wishes to have the security,
Yeah.
a kind of security is the first. So we should give that kind of lesson to our farmers who are really engaged in production purposes. For example, use of the sanitizer,
Yeah.
hand washing kind of thing, mask use, and
Yeah.
several other devices, social distance. These are the things I think
That,
still in the remote rural villages, people they might be not knowing, they may be not aware about this kind of things. So first of all, including the our technician agriculture extension
yeah.
friends who are
Yeah.
working in remote areas, there should be their security should be guaranteed somehow.
Yes.
And this is really a kind of very bad situation.
Yeah.
Everything cannot be guaranteed, but at least whatever the knowledge we have
Yeah.
perhaps has should be delivered very quickly.
Yeah.
Then in second phase, probably perhaps we require to establish something, this corona victimized farmers
Yeah.
support fund kind of thing.
Yeah.
So whosoever will be affected,
Yeah.
those can be, supported later on. That kind of fund
Yeah.
probably will provide you a kind of assurance to the farmers
Yes.
who are primary producers so far.
Yeah.
That will not allow them to,
Suffer.
to
Yeah.
suffer from those kind
Further.
of
Yes.
further. So those are the I think some of the steps probably we should require to take side by side. This we require the agriculture system in Nepal was not that successful earlier because we are inadequate in the agricultural inputs. For
Yes.
example, adequate amount of the fertilizer,
Yeah.
good quality seed,
Yeah.
and good irrigation system.
Yeah.
Those were the one of the bottlenecks so far.
Yes.
Uh, yeah. So perhaps those kind of facilities, if we provide to the farming land,
Yeah.
farmers definitely still we have very bright future in the agriculture sector as well.
Yes.
So perhaps those are the future directions so far we require to do on that direction. And side by side, unless and until we develop
Yeah.
uh, farming as an enterprise
Yeah.
and farmers as the entrepreneur,
Yeah.
probably even the youth and the next coming generation will not look the agriculture sector as a one of the lucrative area.
Yeah.
So these are the things, how to to make the farming as an enterprise and farmers as the entrepreneur, and how to obtain, because every all of the farms in Nepal,
Yeah.
they are very much marginalized.
Yes.
They have very small chunk of land so far with them.
Yes.
So with that chunk of land, these all the farmers, they are not going to be the entrepreneurs so far.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot make every individual farmer an entrepreneur. So how that problem could be resolved? Probably one of the way out, there could be several, is to promote a family farming cooperatives. Perhaps
Mm-hmm.
that could be one of the way out, because we Nepali, perhaps because we live in a very small country,
Yes.
probably therefore we love the piece of land more than us.
Mm-hmm.
Every Nepali, the piece of land is
Very.
very important more than their life.
Yeah.
So it means if you are losing the land, that means you are losing the identity.
Yeah.
Some kind of relationship is there
Yeah.
in between the farmers and the land.
Yes.
So in that situation, probably formation of the cooperative,
Mm-hmm.
those small holders could be one of the way out so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So What are the Nepali scientists doing right now?
Well, the Nepali scientists, as far as you know,
They're
the
shut at
we,
home.
yeah, maybe some of them they are doing very, they want to contribute a lot, but I think it is very sad to say in previous years, in earlier time, we couldn't give a very top priority, high priority to the agriculture scientist.
Yeah.
Not only the agriculture scientists, but I will say the
Yeah.
whole scientist community were so much ignored, and the scientists, only few of them they search their future in Nepal after passing out their universities and colleges.
Yeah.
Most of them they see their future outside of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Can we make a change into that every young scientist will look their future in Nepal? So we require to develop that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Then perhaps that will be the way out to be the self-sufficiency. We attain the self-sufficiency very quickly. So if that situation is not created, perhaps there will be such gaps always. So earlier time, since we could not focus that much on science and technology, but I will urge, that in to make our country uh, more more sufficient in the agricultural production. Probably we only doesn't require to focus on the agriculture farmers, but also the brain, the knowledge is very much important. Sometimes we discuss about the this fusion we require in Nepal. We should never forget that Nepal is of course, we have plentiful of the plain area, but is dominantly a mountainous country.
Yes.
And the agriculture required to understand, we require to develop the technologies which will fuse very, profoundly with our nature,
Yes.
with our system, with our mountain system, as well as, of course, in Terai and
Yes.
the in Terai
That's
situation.
right.
So
Yes.
that kind of scientific knowledge we require to develop in future to
Yes.
make the country more sustainable on very, very, sectors. Yeah.
So, what is the Nepali government doing for agriculture scientists to fight this hard time?
Well, we have this agriculture scientist, Nepal Agriculture Council,
Yeah.
kind of a part of the government. Of course, it is it has some sort of autonomy as well.
Yeah.
So people they are doing the agriculture scientists are trying to develop the new technology by which a kind of seed system they want to develop. They are putting their energy to provide more productive kind of the technologies, more climate adaptable technologies, seed, wheat, and their contribution cannot be ignored. But still, there are many gaps where the government required to do much homework, prioritize the agriculture scientists into the country, and somehow probably we require to give them a kind of moral boost up to the agriculture scientists as well to fight against this this COVID
Hard time,
19.
COVID-19. Yes.
Yeah.
What should the Nepali policy in the future be to improve the production of agriculture produced in the country? What should the
As I said,
yes.
yes, as I said that we should have developed a kind of very much climate resilient, technologies, and of course we require to take the very heavy measure against this coronavirus as well. Side by side, we always advocated to develop a robust system, robust food storage and supply system into the country. So if there will be this kind of the problems times are coming up in Nepal, probably at least Nepali people can be ensured to have a stocked food of 1 year or so. We want to develop that kind of facilities. In past 30 years or so, we have seen the agriculture system has faced so many huge problems of this, political disturbance, almost of about 15 years or so.
Yeah.
And then there was a huge earthquake,
Yeah.
and blockade kind of thing in between. climate change is always there,
Yeah.
and then this COVID-19,
Yeah.
it is very much not only new to Nepalis, but also worldwide. No one knows
Yeah.
how to fight against such such epidemics, such
Yes.
kind of the
Pandemic.
serious disease.
Yeah.
So this time we are locked down into the houses, trying to protect ourselves. So this is a new situation, and probably if this continues, this could be devastating, and to protect our rights of the food security, food sovereignty, whatever the constitution has given to us, we require to go into the field and require to develop the devices by which we can protect ourselves from the this COVID-19. So that is the looking. I think one of the aspect we require to stock. We should have a very good storage of the
Food.
not all food, of
Yeah.
course, but more important, for example, rice, wheat, some sugar,
Yeah.
oil, kind of 4 or 5 items
Yeah.
at least. One can, vegetables and fruits are, of course, they're required to emphasize. Of course, the milk, the meat, fish, everything is important. Um, and we should proceed. We require to develop the technologies to promote for increasing the higher productivity. Side by side, we also require a robust food storage and robust system, by which the farmer at least could be ensured whatever they are putting the labor into that activities will give them the benefit out of their hard work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Respected sir, what do you think will be the loss due to corona in agriculture in Nepal this year?
Well, it is very maybe as early to speak on this,
Yeah.
but of course, the huge loss has already been occurred,
Yeah.
and since rice is the one of the prime commodity,
Yeah.
and now we are entering into the rice plantation season. This chaite dhan has
Yeah.
already been cultivated, already been that has been started, and then this main monsoon season season is also coming up. So the loss into the national economy, maybe that could be really could be estimated after how we can cope with this COVID-19 against the rice plantation. So if there will be some very huge obstacle, then the Nepal will be really in great loss.
Yeah.
We should prepare ourselves to fight, to how to do more and more productive, how
Yeah.
great, much rice sowing
Yeah.
in this monsoon season.
Yes.
Yeah.
How should work in agriculture be managed such that we have less loss? We should have better working uh, technology, right?
Well, there are several ways, as I said, the of course technology has
Yeah.
very important role, and the seed sector is very important as well.
Yeah.
Livestock, one way in past some around 1 decade back, we always advocated the commercialization of agriculture system. Side by side, seeing these all the trends from last years,
Yeah.
probably it looks that there are so many obstacles, so many hurdles coming up against the commercialization of agriculture. As I said, this political unrest,
Yeah.
earthquake kind of thing, this
Yeah.
COVID-19 situation, they are always victimizing us.
Yeah.
So in that situation, probably, as I said, family farming cooperative will also be helpful to establish good agricultural practices, and that will give a kind of and without a mechanization, very now
Yeah.
people they want to depend more and more on the machine.
Yeah.
uh, of course, we can use those all the machine, but considering our landscape, our mountainous landscape, really it is also very difficult to manage
Yes.
and to purchase or to carry those all the heavy machinery to the uphills.
Yes.
So some sort of uh, a kind of management, you say, or maybe technology by which
Yeah.
those all the mountain slope as well.
Yeah.
The rice field, the orchard.
Yeah.
If that could be managed by mechanization, I think, yeah, that will add a very very great milestone as well. Of course, the this marketing is one of the great approach, but the lifestyle of the people then some 30 years before is changing very rapidly.
Yes.
So people, less and less people now, there are huge departure from the agriculture sector to the sector as well. So challenge for us is to how to retain the most productive
Yeah.
youth from the in the agriculture sector.
Yeah.
So to attract the youth, one require more attraction in agriculture than in other sectors. Otherwise, we cannot stop the youths migrating out of the agriculture.
Yeah.
So we require to devise such kind of mechanism by which the youth could be retained into the agriculture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what advice do you have for the Nepali farmers right now?
Please, I missed
What
one.
advice do you have
Ah,
for the Nepali farmers?
well, a Nepali farmer actually, uh, whatever they are involving and whatever they are wasting their very much valuable time,
Yeah.
that must be for the more profit.
Yeah.
In earlier time, our in our villages, my relatives, they were not selling the milk outside their house. They said this is a sin to sell the milk. So those kind of orthodox ideas should be left over. You require to forget those kind of that philosophies. You have to work all the farmers, otherwise you will be lagging behind. Your
Yes.
son, your daughter, farmer's son and farmer's daughter, probably they will not get good quality education
Yes.
if they are not producing their things
Yeah.
for the business purpose. So please take it as your business. Agriculture is your business. Everyone is in the
In the
business.
business.
No one is producing nothing for the free.
Yeah.
So if that attitude is taken, and if the farmers go on cooperative approach, if someone has very big chunk of land and if they want to do commercial farming, some sort of high value product they want to produce, they are free to do so.
Yes.
But if you are a smallholder, please combine together, do joint agriculture system. So if you produce adequate amount of potato, for example, adequate amount of fish, adequate amount of milk, then the market dealer will come and contact with you to purchase those all the products from where you are producing. So that phenomena, that change we require to develop in to to make the agriculture sector more and more flourishing. So that is an opinion. Please be
Yeah.
a businessman.
What would you like to say to the Nepali public at this time of hardship?
Yeah, pardon.
What would you like to say to the Nepali public at this time of hardship?
Well, this time whatever the government is doing, this lockdown concept, please follow it up. Please
Yes.
maintain the social distance,
Yes.
and let's see uh, how it goes after 2 weeks or so. And then if there will be no such kind of big problem from the corona side, then perhaps some of the sector where there is less problem, we can open that up
Yes.
and we can make that free for the agriculture production for all other activities. So by that way, maybe lockdown all the time is not a permanent solution so far. Probably in very near future, some other very powerful vaccine will be coming up into the market, and probably this corona will disappear very soon from our global society. So please, till that time, please be patient and be safe at home.
Thank you, sir, for being with us. Namaste.
Thank Namaste, Vasnaji. Thank you.
Namaste.
See you again.
Dear viewers, that was Dr. Teek Bahadur Gurung, who's an agriculture expert. The farmers right now are having tough time due to non-sales of their produce. The Consumers do not have access to farm produce, and the farmers do not have access to the market. The farmers do not have access to fertilizer, pesticides, and seeds right now. Well, this is all in Agriculture Affairs in Nepal special with me, Nirmala Basnet. I'll be back with more affairs next time. Till then, Jai Krishi, Jai Kishan, Samriddha Krishi, Nepal Kushan.